Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into some TA. All right, guys, we are hitting it with another early update. Why? Because we have a weekly update coming out tomorrow, which is going to have much more detail than this video. We're going to prepare for the upcoming week. We're going to go over how everything is looking here on the weekly charts, on the daily charts, as well as 10 to 20 trade setups going into next week. All right, so stay tuned for that. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on so you can get updated when we put out these updates. All right, guys, so I'm just going to say, all right, we had the 15-minute bearish divergence. I actually spoke about it while we were, I recorded it as it was forming over here. Literally right here was when we were recording the video on this little spike right there. We were saying, don't be surprised if a sell starts up between this level right here, 20,08475 and 20,200. All right, 20,200. Why? Because that was going to be your 0.786 fib. And if sellers were going to step in, it was going to be there. You had the 15-minute bearish divergence developing. And what happened? They stepped in at the exact perfect time. All right. So that is that. We did nail the top there. Congrats if you made money on that. And congrats if you, took some profit off of that call. Whatever you want to, do with that info that I give you. Congrats. All right. I'll hit this button for you.
That was easy.
Is, sometimes it gets really easy when all of our little components come together and we get a nice big picture point of view. Right now, guys, I am going to say I think downside is limited. Why? Because NQ does have its 15-minute RSI being almost in oversold territory, while RTY, all right, small caps, and then ES, they already had the 15-minute RSI get into oversold territory. And I just want to point out, this is where you start getting your bounces. All right, that is where this thing starts moving up, and typically price will be moving up with that. So that is what I'm going to be looking for. RTY, the same exact setup I got to play yesterday morning, we played this morning. I'm actually going to be, I'm not done for the day, but I am going to take a step back and, yeah, I'm going to wait to see how things develop because quite frankly, I think since, we got the 15-minute RSIs being oversold over there, I think we could sorry, you had that alert. I know it was loud in my ears too. We very well could base around here, like NQ over here, all right? I'm just going to point out how I'm seeing this chart, all right? Well, underneath right here, 19,981, we had room down to 19,944.50. Under there, we have 19,900. The fact that you got under here means you're probably coming over here, right? That's the next break and retest level. And then underneath there, you have 19,850. But if you test there, you're probably just going to test this golden pocket down to 19,800, all right? So I do think we are going to be starting a bounce rate around here. I know we're selling like this, but I'm definitely going to say downside is limited. I'm sitting here watching. I'm going to wait how things go. All right, wait to see how things go. I will re-enter if I see what I like again. But I played a little ES over here, but most of my gains were RTY this morning. And I'm just saying, I don't think things are going to change much today. I don't. We had a big gap up yesterday. I would be cautious on the long side. But now that things are, looking how they are, we're probably not going to see much more downside before a decent size, bounce here. And that is going to probably create a flat trading day. Or we're going to do something like this, where you bounce here, all right, and then you come over here by end of day. I am looking for these gaps to be filled. All right, we're going to get off of, futures over here. We're going to come over here to SPY. Guys, I am looking for this to come and retest at least 565.16. This is going to be your big cup and handle breakout here. That is your neckline. All right, so between 560.81 and 565.16, expect buyers to step in. But yeah, it looks extremely likely that you're going to test this spot. You have the daily 9 EMA, hinging up right here, coming towards price. It's going to meet you in the middle here if you come and test this zone. So I'm just saying downside is probably limited, but we probably are going to find our way down here today. All right. But in the short term, I just showed you how things are looking. 15-minute RSI is oversold. You could short when that thing is oversold, but it's usually not going to be the best entry you are getting. All right. And you're probably going to come down, sweep that low, put in a bullish divergence. And yeah, I'm going to start looking for a long setup on these smaller time frames. All right. But as of what I was seeing just now that made me get really cautious here on the long side is, yeah, everything was getting rejected by these 15-minute 9 EMAs. Yes, guys, simple as that. It doesn't have to be complicated. Everything we look at here is getting rejected by the 15-minute 9 EMAs. You come over here, you even got the Dow futures over here. You're also dancing right around it, so it's definitely a reason to be cautious. All right, but I'm going to keep things extremely simple here. 15-minute RSI, even on SPY over here, is getting down into oversold territory. So if you come down here 565.16, expect something to form over here, a base, inverse head and shoulders, a range, and then you get a range break up. Whatever it is on these smaller time frames, you probably are going to develop it somewhere over here and then get that bounce. What happens after that bounce, I don't know. All right, but again, like I said, we will have the weekly update out tomorrow. And I do think the Friday update, I mean, there's no point in me reporting the same exact price action. Oh, let me record after Friday's close and then record the same exact price action on Saturday and talk about it. No, we're not going to do that. All right. We'll talk about the intraday price action. I actually considered going live today, and I'm just not doing that. But, I did consider it. But then I thought about it. I was like, live streams don't really bring in any subscribers. They don't. So, in terms of my investment into my channel, it's not really the biggest return on the investment there. And that's that. All right. On QQQ, same exact thing. 15-minute RSI is coming down into oversold territory. IWM is not, but let's just talk about the levels you're watching on SPY first, then we'll talk about QQQ. Underneath 566.57, you watch for 565.16. Underneath there, guys, you're just looking for buyers to step up somewhere in between the zone. All right, in between that level and down here on the upside, resistance is going to be 568.69, and then you have yesterday's right where you closed out over there, 570.36. All right, and it wasn't the close, but it was the low from that closing candlestick. All right, now on QQQ, your support is going to be 480.38. Underneath there, 477.93. Now this is the level that really speaks to me here on this chart. We're just looking at it. That is going to be, if you come down to the hourly time frame. I did point out right before FOMC on Twitter over there, guys. If you're not already following on the Twitter, go over there. I will post the charts every day, and I think you will find even more value over there. All right, so you're gonna have the YouTube videos over here, and you got chart updates over there as well. That link will be down below. But this is going to be the inverse head and shoulders neckline over here. And, that is probably going to be a spot where buyers start to step in. All right. Let's talk about confluence. 15-minute RSI is getting oversold as you're coming down into this level. I'm not saying you're going to hit it, but hey, all right, we're going to actually do this just so we know when it is being hit, because it's probably going to be hit. That's that. All right. Resistance 482.73, 485.54, 488.80, and 490.73. We're going to look at the daily time frame one more time before we move on to the next ticker. All right, if you pull back in here, expect buyers. Daily 9 is going to be right underneath there. I don't think upside is over. We're just going to do that real quick. All right, so, if you're not new to the channel, then right over here, sellers stepped in right where they had to. Just like I just showed you on NQ, sellers stepped in again right where they had to. All right, like exactly right where they had to, which is why I, made the video at that time yesterday. That's that. When I do the intraday update, it's usually at a pivotal spot or right before. So I see something shaping up, and then I'll tell you about it. And then, hey, people can make some intraday money, and everyone's happy. All right. But yeah, over here on QQ, guys, you guys can clearly see you came up right here, smacked it dead on. All right, pretty much an equivalent high over here, and the fact that you ran all the way up here after making this higher low, guys, I'm going to say the trend is up right now. All right. People can call this neutral, but what I'm going to say is you have a higher low followed by, a slightly higher high here. It is an equivalent high, but either way, you're more bullish than bearish. Expect buyers on this pullback and expect them to buy you up to new high. That's how I'm looking at this. All right. Coming over here to Mr. VIX. Guys, you did slice underneath that uptrend yesterday, and I did say I think that that sets us up for a move all the way down here to 1388. Now, you do have this zone here. You typically don't get your, you don't not get your reactions in the zone. So, we're literally coming right down to it and getting that reaction right now as we speak. And then you have this 15-minute RSI with a bullish divergence. So, that does say, hey, caution on the long side. We could see this guy spike right here, and then we could see NQ do that, or just that. All right, it's one or the other. If we see this move, I'll buy that move, and the target for that will be probably going to be up here. Obviously I'm going to take it off as I go, but that'll be that. We're going to come over here to IWM now, guys. IWM is something that still, you could tell buyers are not giving up the fight. They're not. The fact that, you had this move, okay, followed by this move, followed by this massive gap up and printing a hammer candlestick, like you clear as they can see buyers are the committed team over here. It's not the sellers. If you pull back, expect buyers to step in. All right, your support is going to be 222.45, 220.77, 218.29. If you test, either 220.77 or 218.29, and price is testing that daily 9, expect buyers to be stepping in. That's that. All right, but again, 15-minute RSI over here, I showed you at an RTY. If you see these things oversold, you probably are going to start getting your bounces. So that's like, really, you don't need to complicate things. You can literally just keep it very simple there. All right, this thing's getting oversold. This thing's getting oversold. This thing's not oversold, but I just showed you the other one, all right? This thing's getting oversold. They're all getting oversold. So I know this thing looks like it's about a spike, and it probably is going to get a little spike-a-rooney up here and make a higher high over like 1640 right over here. And that's going to pull everything back, but we're going to be bullish on the pullback, all right? Boom. All right, let's go over SMH. All right, some chip stocks, guys. I'm not going to talk about everything right now, but I'm just going to say things do look like they're pulling back here. Getting rejection in the golden pocket, pull back to the 9, retest that trend line. Wouldn't be a bad spot for buyers to start stepping back in. NVDA, guys, all right. Yeah, you got this little flag thing. I keep seeing it on Twitter. I'm going to say I see the same thing, but I'm also going to say, yeah, this thing's looking heavy, and it looks like you could get a little, sell over here. But again, you're right around that daily 9, so I wouldn't be even expecting a lot, guys. All right, I would not. Avgo, you did get the breakout, but I'm not going to say it's looking strong. All right, you're still in this golden pocket. You could easily pull back here to the daily 9, and that would be that. 166.85 is going to be your support. If you can't hold there, watch for price to come like, like a magnet, come to this daily 9. AMD, all right, you got sellers stepping in your supply zone. You couldn't get a daily close above, which means we're probably not coming up to 162.04 yet. We are going to be headed up there, but in reality, very likely going to be pulling back here. All right. Again, daily 9. Daily 9. I got the hiccups. I always get the hiccups when I'm talking fast in these videos. All right. 148.99. That is going to be your support if 153.64 cannot hold. SMCI, this thing is, honestly holding up better than the other ones today. Up, almost 2%. You're just kind of flagging out here. I wouldn't be touching it. Still in that falling wedge. TSM. All right. Getting sellers right up there at the inverse head and shoulders neckline. I'll take that off. We can clearly see the inverse head and shoulders. Getting sellers there, pull back to 171.54. You probably get buyers stepping in. MU, earnings right around the corner, still just basing out. All right, this is what I was saying. Could form here on the smaller time frames of QQQ and SPY. We could get that base action going on. All right, ARM, you're still just in the zone here. All right, 135.41. That is where you want to be going along. All right, until this range is broken here, this little zone we got going on, play it. QCOM, it was looking the best yesterday. It's not looking the best today. Things pulling back to the daily 9. Your support is 168.74, 165.89, and then you have all the way down here at 161, which I don't think is going to be tested here. All right, what I do see here is a shoulder, a head, and this pullback. What does it do? Creates probably a higher low and puts in a right shoulder. Looks good to me, folks. All right, let's talk about the big boys. How we looking? All right. Apple, right up here to your downtrend. You could very well see sellers step in here. We were bullish off of this move right here. We were clearly in a bullish pattern. We knew downside was probably limited because if you weren't going to hold right here at 213.50, you were probably just going to come down a little bit lower, down to that 210.618 fib. All right, Goog, how are we looking, guys? You are, consolidating here above the, fair value gap that we got above. I'm just going to say, you rejected a resistance right here, pretty much on the dot. The high of day was 164.99. 165.03 was the level we were paying attention to over there. If you were along with me from over here, it's not a bad spot to trim. It doesn't really matter. You could be in the November expiration with me, and you're still up quite a bit. All right, there should be no case where you bought with me down here and you're not up at least like 50% here. It's not a bad spot to take them profits. And I'm not saying all the profits because in reality, if you got some time, it probably pulls back here, maybe takes like a week or so, and in the end you're probably going to end up here. So do what you want to do, but just a friendly reminder from Henry Boy over here. All right, Amazon, you're still rejecting the 0.786 fib. Very well could see a pullback here. You could see 185.81, but it really could pull back all the way to 182.39 right there. Microsoft, how we looking? Yeah, things are looking heavy, guys. It looks like we're going to continue to sell. We just spoke about the intraday bounce. It's probably going to spark up. But, I also mentioned, hey, all right, expect that bounce to be sold. I don't think it's just going to completely reverse these things. Some of these charts look pretty ugly. Meta already got a massive move here. Do not be surprised if it pulls back into 542.81. It's probably coming all the way up here to 580 in the end, but the thing does not go straight up. Nothing goes straight up. Things go zigzag every single time. Every single time they go zigzag. Boom. All right. You want to see it go down? Zigzag. All right. They always go zigzag. Always. Dell, this thing's being a piece of crap. All right. But you are finding buyers right where you want to be finding buyers. We're going to see how today's candlestick closes. I'm still thinking it's going to be pushing up here into the golden pocket, but it could take that time with everything else we just mentioned. All right. So we could see continued consolidation over here. Tesla with the breakout yesterday. I know it's pulling back, but if you pull back into 233.09, I think you're probably going to get buyers stepping in. All right. We've seen this before, and I think we're seeing it again right now, where you get, that little fake out kind of move, and then you're going to continue higher. I'm not saying you do continue higher. All right. But, yeah, you broke out to the upside from this consolidation above 233.09. And now if you pull back into it, it's not a bad spot for buyers to step in for then to move to fill this gap up here. Actually, we're going to put that right there, 245.63. And then above there, watch 252. But, it looks like, hey, you find buyers over here. You could have a few big days back to back that could bring you all the way up here. So keep it on the radar. All right. I know I said we weren't going to be going over everything. I guess we are going over everything. All right. We'll go over everything tomorrow again, along with the 10 to 20 trade ideas. Okay. Golden pocket, finding sellers in that golden pocket. Let's get rid of that. At the end of the day, you have this double bottom here. If you can really break above 65.103, all right, then you're probably coming up here. It's looking good. Coin, not looking the best. Still just stuck in that consolidation. All right. Play the break when it comes. But, I tried playing it early, and yeah, this thing's just, it's not ready to go, guys. It's not. MSTR, we pointed out this was the hot setup out of all of the crypto miners and crypto stocks we cover. This is the hot one, all right? This is the one that literally broke out over here and hit with the break and retest off for 129.22 level, all right? And that downtrend, we're really liking this thing. It's probably coming up here to 150.77, okay? Am I playing it now? No, the time to play it was over here or it was down here. Okay. Tomorrow, what are we talking about? Still pulling back here. Still just, still broke out. Pulling back. Getting a retest of this trend line. Not the worst look. I'm not going to say it's the best look. You also can watch this downtrend right here for a break. And when that breaks, you probably are going to start heading up here to 1873. TSLA is another one that I think is setting up here. Just like MAR, it hasn't gotten the love like MSTR. None of them actually besides MSTR got the love. Like, let's see how HUD is looking over here. Yeah, HUD got more love than these guys that we're covering. All right, but still got a fresh downtrend setup. Do not have the fresh break yet. Consolidating right underneath that daily 9, just dancing around it still. If you can get that break, it is boom shakalaka city. You're probably coming up here. Boom. All right, guys. So that is what we have for you today. What is going on over here? Let's see how it goes at the by the end of the video. What are we doing? Oh, we're following these arrows. We're probably coming, maybe coming down here. 15-minute RSI is oversold already, so I wouldn't be looking for too much more downside from here. I'm going to be looking for long setups. That's just that. But at the end of the day, if you want to see when this thing really switches its trend, you're going to need to get over this white line right there, which is going to be your 5-minute 9 EMA. All right, if sellers, once you're underneath it, if sellers are going to be stepping in, they're probably going to step in right there. All right. Just like if you're over it, buyers are probably going to be holding the line right there. Okay. So, if you want to not be longing against this trend because it's clearly going down here, hey, wait to see this thing base. This thing's price is going to catch up, probably consolidate with this, and then boom, you catch this. All right. It could very much so look like something like that. All right. And then we're going to say this thing comes right here. All right. And then you get above it. And that's when you know. Okay. It's probably not just going to shoot up. It probably dances around it like we see, all these other things when we talk about the moving averages. Okay. All right, guys. That is the video I got for you today. I know we did end up going over all the things we cover. But yeah, weekly update will be out tomorrow. We're going to see how things look going into next week, and I will have 10 to 20 trade ideas coming at you. All right, guys. So check out the Twitter code. Join me over there. We're going to be, I'm putting an effort into that guy over there, that new platform for me. And I would appreciate your support over there. But also, I promise to make it worth your while. I will be posting 2 to 3 charts a day over there. All right. And, chances are you're going to be getting, intraday futures updates from time to time when I see setups for them. All right. If you want to trade futures with me every single morning, as well as, getting my options trades and, all my chart updates throughout the day, link is going to be down below. Come join me in the Discord. All right. With that being said, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you guys. And I will catch y'all in the next one. But you have a lovely rest of the day and peace.